Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we are gonna talk a little bit about the stuff that Capcom changed in the spring update. They showed a lot, in all honesty. They showed a lot of Oro, they showed a lot of Rose, which looks very promising, and we even saw some clips of Akira. Obviously we still don't know who is the fifth character, but that is remain to be seen. I'm assuming they are waiting for like a big hype tournament or something for a big reveal. Now we are checking out Oro, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I actually played Street Fighter 3 like super casually, so I'm not the biggest, I'm not really that familiar with Oro. Obviously I was a kid back then, so Oro's like in character I never messed around with, and like none of my friends even played him, of course. He seems like a really technical character, obviously not a character that would appeal to a young kid. But now that I'm looking at him, this character looks sick as hell. I'm honestly usually not into old guys style of character, like the old fighters, you know. These characters are usually not really my type, but Oro looks fantastic. I'm noticing that most of his special moves are still intact. He still has the medium budget launches, he still have his command grab, and that's actually really interesting. Later they show that he have his V skill, he gave him his new special move, and that special move is this kick. There is multiple versions, of course. Light is a single hit. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be safe. You can use it as a poke, like doing a normal into it in a block string. The medium and the heavy looks like a combo ender, and the EX looked like a launcher. I'm assuming you can dash here and get some Oki, or end up with the light or the TP for some damage. Looks really interesting, and this is what kinda worries me. The V skill is a slow moving fireball. When you consider that he actually have his command grab as well in V trigger, that's kind of scary. Like you have a character who can set up a slow moving fireball, he have a low, he have a really weird jump shenanigans, and he have a command grab, so it can be really scary. Obviously it have a lot of recovery, it seems, or not to startup per se, but we will see. That to me seems very promising. Obviously his new V skill, like the hop thing into the punch or kick, I'm assuming this is gonna be kinda similar to Balrog's KKB or his V skill 1, where one of the options would be an overhead, and maybe you can use that with the V skill to create some really cool mix-ups. Here we are seeing some of his V trigger, obviously the command grab. Again, this is gonna be very scary, you can combo into it, and the first thing I'm gonna do honestly is just use him and do that command grab on some big body character like Abigail or something. It's gonna look hilarious. And then finally they are showing off his V trigger 2. His V trigger 2 kinda it seems like a combo, like an easy mode version of Minat's V trigger, which is interesting. Overall, he looks like a really interesting character. We don't have a date on when Oro is gonna come out. I'm assuming he's gonna come out in the summer. So he looks cool, and he's super well animated and super well designed. I'm very impressed with what they did with him. Again, I was never really interested, but they really caught my attention. And now let's check out Rose, because Capcom actually went in a lot of depths with Rose. First of all, they showed her V skill 1. It's the tarot card thing, and it seems like there are different or 4 different versions of the card, and it seems like you will have to rotate between the card. I figured that maybe it will be kinda like Harley Quinn's or Wonder Woman. If you play Injustice 2, Wonder Woman had like a V skill or like a trait, her circle button, which will do like a buff, and there was like 5 different buffs and they were completely random. Here it seems like Rose will circle between them and they go in a particular order, at least that's my understanding. So that actually seems really interesting. The one where Rose actually does a lot of chip damage, this one I'm predicting is gonna be really big. The one where she decreases her opponent attack, I guess that can be alright, but it's not a big deal. But the one where she gets to do more ship damage, that's gonna be scary. That is really gonna be scary when you really think about it. I think at the highest level of gameplay, this one is gonna be abused a lot. The one thing that kind of worries me about this V skill, they said that you can do it on block, of course, and the effect still is there, but the startup or the casting time seem really long. I'm not sure how viable it will be, right? Like, it seems like Rose, the startup animation is super long, and seems like there is a lot of recovery. Maybe you will be able to do it in some set play. Maybe you can use her new orb special move to do that. I don't know. So I am kind of worried about that. The other, of course, now they are showing her V-Trigger 1, and her V-Trigger 1, the first thing I thought of was like Board Nash. This seems like Nash V-Trigger 1, but on steroids, to be honest. She gets to... First of all, she gets to teleport backwards, which for a zoning character is super good and can be super obnoxious if the teleport have lower recovery, which looks like it doesn't have that much recovery. Being able to teleport backwards is actually very powerful. She can teleport right behind her opponent, and she can teleport right behind them in the air. She can throw Fireball and then cancel into the V-Trigger. Here there are some cool combos she's doing. I think in matchups where she will have to zone, this ability to just teleport backwards is gonna be really powerful, because normally Rose doesn't really have mobility, right? Now they are showing her V-Skill 2. Obviously her V-Skill 2 is the Soul Satellite. Again, the casting time seemed really long, so I'm not sure how viable it will be to set up. But like they are saying, her orb kinda negates one hit of projectile, so maybe that will give you a chance. Or maybe you will have to end your combos, not go for Oki and set up the Soul Satellite. So that could be interesting. Then of course we saw her V-Trigger 2, and this looks really interesting. Out of all what was shown so far, I think this has the most potential, to me at least. V-Trigger 1 seems like it's gonna be the easy to use reliable V-Trigger, because at least you are getting value. Even if you're teleporting backwards, you are getting value. The Soul Illusion V-Trigger seems like it will be a lot trickier to use. It does seem like it will have a lot of combo opportunities. I am very interested to see how it will actually pan out. What is the frame data like on block? It's gonna be really interesting. I'm assuming the double hits are gonna be really plus. As you can see, you can do some fancy combos. Obviously, if you activate V-Trigger and then combo into it, it's gonna scale a lot, so you kinda have to consider how you can land the hit without scaling. And that is what seems like could be, or what seems to be weak about this V-Trigger. If you only get really big combos on the V-Trigger activation, that could be a little bit lackluster. Generally, I think Rose looks really solid, but I also feel like I have a sneaking suspicion, and I don't want to say it, that she could be not as powerful as we have imagined. I am kinda worried about her range. The Soul Spiral seemed to have almost no range whatsoever, so her combo consistency might not be that great. The Fireball doesn't look fantastic. I mean, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. At least she have anti-airs that seem reliable, and the EX Soul Spark will actually, or the anti-air Soul Throw would lead to good damage. So that's interesting. And they finally showed some her Wimpos. They showed some of her other alternate costumes. That's one of her alternate costume, and then of course they also showed her super. There is a match on the Capcom stream, so you can check it out. Finally, we got a glimpse at Akira, and Akira I know nothing about, to be honest. Never played Rival School, and she reminds me a lot of Asuka Kazama from Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Obviously Asuka is from the Tekken series, but the way she plays is really reminds me of Asuka from that game. Doesn't seem like she have a lot of range, although that crouching medium kick looks long. She seemed to have a short jump, so we will see. I guess the low kick doesn't even have to be a crouching medium kick. Maybe it's a special move. I mean, she looks interesting. Like, she looks different. Obviously, we still have to know a lot more about it to decide. And it seemed like they had her signature air combo. And of course, at the end, you get the cool Easter egg with her brother. And that is really nice. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave me a like or a comment. Let me know which of these characters are you looking forward to the most. Thank you very much for watching, and stay safe.